Again. Hey, well, I've had a look at the program on the Healing Our Spirit Worldwide website, and you just need to put that name in and it'll take you there. And they've already scheduled me in to do my presentation on November the 19th. That's a Thursday, which is the last day of presentations. The hui winds up on Friday, so I'm really chuffed about that. And the reason, of course, that I'm doing this appeal is to get as much money as we can so we can take a team up. And we've only got 45 minutes, but the nice thing is they've scheduled me into the just before lunch, and then if I want to run over time, I can. I don't have to hurry up and do things because it's a lunchtime period, so that's why they did it. And I'm very thankful for that. You know, it's not all about whether we should or should not do something about this, because substance abuse is really a real problem here in New Zealand, and especially amongst our Maori people. We're overrepresented in the prisons, 51%, and even if there are about, say, our prison population is around about 8,600. Chop that into half, it's easier to work with round numbers, and you get 4,000. Some of those are inmates that come and go, but if you chop that in half again, then you're probably looking at long-termers. And if you look at 2,000 at 100,000 each, you know, that's 200 million. That's what's costing you and I, the taxpayer, and the government pays that. And so there is a physical cost if we do not do anything about it. Because that's not the primary reason why I've been doing this kind of work. And I've been visiting, I was visiting prisons since 1963, but going in as an observer. It wasn't until the 70s that I started putting a program together, and then by the 80s I had put it into a form that I felt quite happy with. And then later on, about 1983, 1984, I started teaching it formally. I'm really pleased with the program now, because I've seen so many people change. And when I say that it cost the taxpayer, you and I, about 200 million, those are people only who have been caught and who have been before the courts. The substance abuse, there are a lot of cases that we don't know of, or that haven't gone into court, but it still wrecks families. It really does. And I'm pleased to say that the MAURI HAUORA program, that I now call MAURI HAUORA, I started calling it MAURI psychology, but it's more of a philosophy than a psychology. And it's practical, and it's based on Indigenous understandings, the understandings and applications of the two symbolic languages that our ancestors have handed down to us, for those of us who are interested. And what I did was I cross-referenced them. So if there was a tukutuku panel pattern, or if there was a whakaido design, a carving, that had similar information in it to a story, an oral story or a chant, then I would use that as a means of putting across a point. So these stories are called Pakiwaitare and Pūrākau, and I've differentiated them because Pūrākau is in the solid form, so we see it in carvings, or we see it in decorative clothing patterns, or in tukutuku panels, the decorative lattice work that's in between the carvings in a carved ancestral meeting house. And of course this meeting house itself is a Pūrākau. But when you talk about it, when you sing it, when you chant it, when you dance it, then that to me is a pakiwaita, and paki means vibration. So it comes from the belly, it's the vibration of the voice. And each kai pakiwaitara, each kai pūrākau, when they make their stories, or they tell their stories, they can embellish it any way they like, as long as the essence of the story the idea of the story is preserved. And I come from a family that are storytellers. So I decided that I would put across a kind of philosophy and a psychology about taking personal responsibility and putting it into the story forms that my elders had been doing for centuries. And I found that it worked. I've seen so many people change. Now, these are only the people that I know of. There are a whole lot of other people that work in this area too, and I'm very much aware that I'm not the only one that works in the area of substance abuse. There are a whole lot more that do it as well. And all of us have that same idea in mind, and that is to help families live a better life, to help individuals live a better life. Work on the individual, and of course you help a family and you help friends as well who have suffered, because a lot of people are hurt by substance abuse, not just the victim, but people around them, people who care. So one day, when these people wake up and it's their time, and usually it's around about the age of about 40 onwards, people start to wake up and wonder, what am I doing with my life? And that's the time when the type of program that I've put together really does its thing. So I do have a background of being there when people have changed and keeping in contact with some of them. But to see them change and do the kinds of things that they are doing now today, it's really fabulous, and I'm really pleased to be involved in this type of work. So, as you can see, we are raising funds on Give a Little, and so if you want to make a contribution, we've only got till the end of the month. So thank you very much if you've made a contribution already, and you take care. Bye.